Many thanks for joining us on the program this evening. My name is Joy ASONYE. Now, the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party yesterday led a black uniform protest to the national headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission here in Abuja to protest the outcome of the 25th Presidential and National Assembly polls. Well, with the elections costing Nigeria over 3.5 billion naira, and the PDP asking for a rerun. Is that possible? That's what we'll be discussing on today's edition. And we'll be discussing all of this with the director, the head of media and publicity, Atiku Youth Wing, and a PA to the director of support groups, Justice Abraham. So good to have you join us.
Same here.
Well, at this point, we'll just go for a short break and return to discuss more. Stay with us. Welcome back from that. Now, Justice Abraham, let's just go straight to it. I mean, the People's Democratic Party had aligned with the Labour Party to head to the courts to seek redress. However, we saw a protest yesterday. While we must commend the leadership of the party for ensuring that protest was very peaceful, my question is, why the protest? What was the objective of that protest?
I think the essence of the protest is to let INEC know that the PDP, the family of PDP are not happy.
Right.
Nigerians are not happy with the outcome of the result. And what we did yesterday was to go to INEC office, express our grievance about the INEC, the result of the election. And Nigerians are not happy. As you can see, even today I'm still wearing black.
I wanted to ask if your black is still in protest.
Yes, because we are mourning in Nigeria. We are mourning.
You find the results and the outcome of that election fraudulent? Is that what you say?
Yes, fraudulent.
Okay. I mean, there were states in Nigeria where the People's Democratic Party did very well. In fact, even the National Assembly seats were all taken. And one thing the All Progressive Congress insists on would always remind the PDP is, are you asking for a complete rerun, even in places where you did well? And would you say that in those places there was also rigging?
Yeah, we are asking for a rerun because we know we did well. If you ask INEC to rerun the election today, PDP will still win in everywhere. So we are confident about that. And that's why I was telling INEC to do rerun about the election because it's obvious. It's obvious today. You see the rigging is obvious and Nigerians are aware that this election was rigged. Everybody, you see, even the Bible says when the righteous is on the throne, people rejoice. When the wicked is on the throne, there's lamentation and everywhere. You can see that even Nigerians are not happy. There's no celebration, there's no jubilation. When he was announced as the elected president.
That's not completely true. I have seen several celebrations as well. I'm not sure what you mean by celebrations. But I have also seen several people in some quarters celebrating. But when you say rigging, I mean the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu had come out to admit that there were logistical problems, there were technological problems, staff conduct and security problems. What would you say in your words were the real reason why it didn't turn out as you wanted it to?
You see, what I'll say about this is that because you discover that even before the election, the INEC chairman told us they're going to use beavers to transmit the result. But even if you checked on the collation day, when our own agent was talking, the president of SSA, Todino Milai, insisted that the beavers has to be used. The result has to be uploaded online for all Nigerians to see. You could see the way the INEC chairman was so adamant in enforcing that no, the collation has to go on. And we are told, Nigeria spent a whole lot of money to acquire those beavers. If we spent that amount to acquire beavers and you have assured Nigerians that this result will be uploaded online for all Nigerians to see from the unit level to the ward level to the local government, Then what's stopping it? Just suddenly, the beavers didn't work. There was technical issue. How?
You don't see that as possible, that there could be glitches. And according to INEC, that the upscale, we had only tested that during off-cycle elections, and then the upscaling it to a national contest or elections such as we had was going to have glitches.
For everyone's sake, we have 24 hours before the elections. Nobody was told anything. No information, prior information. These things were tested. It was used in a dual election. It was used in a kitty. It was used in a shoe. And non-dual election. So what suddenly happened?
Okay. Another question I would like to ask is, do you have agents that found discrepancies or irregularities from the whatever they collated in the PUs, that's the polling unit, to what was eventually mentioned or called out during the national collation?
Yes, that's why we have agents on ground. We have those results.
But did you notice, did your agents see any discrepancy?
You know, if at the collation center that particular day, the results were being collated, our agent said something. He said, some of the results are different from what we have. From our agents, they sent to us on that particular day. So there are some missing numbers. Suddenly, what we have on ground does not tally with what INEC is giving us. That's why I see Senator Dino insisted that morning that those returning officers should be on oath. That if truly what they are submitting is truly what will be transmitted on the beaver. But nobody did that.
Right.
He insisted, he shouted, he was screaming on his voice, but because they knew what they want to do. They insisted that no, it has to be, for instance, we were talking about Kwara. When the result of Kwara came in, they were showing him, even some of the other parties' agents that were there, were insisting that no, they don't agree with some of the results that are coming
including the APC?
Including Labour Party. Definitely APC will tell you because they know what they are doing. They will agree with it.
Because I mean, we also saw the APC has constantly reminded those who want to contest these elections, the outcome of that elections, and say we had strongholds or places we thought we had strongholds, and we saw how other political parties, opposition parties, did very well in those areas, and that's to say that it must be free and fair if we allow Lagos, for instance, Osun, for instance, and those states take all basically for especially for the PDP and the Labour in the case of Lagos. But you would understand that there is a point there. I mean, if we have this concocted, I mean, if the APC has concocted this allegation that you allege that they had, it would be only right that they would start with places that is speculated to have their stronghold.
Yeah, you see the results, the election this year. The people are determined they want change, because we have suffered from the hands of this present government.
Right.
People are tired. When the present government came in 2015, a bag of rice was about 7,500 or 8,500. How much do we get for a liter of fuel? But today, how much are they selling fuel? How much are we buying a bag of rice? Everything has skyrocketed. Rent, NEPA bills, everything is like 300 times what it used to be before.
Some people would say it's a global meltdown.
It's a global meltdown. No. Like I said something, even right before now, at the first tenure of the government, somebody came in. Take, for instance, you're in the studio and somebody comes in and you have a manager that is not doing well and is vying for that position. Somebody came in from outside and said he's vying for that same position. Should have what it takes to make the office work very well. If I said I want to be the manager of this studio, it means that I understand what it takes to change things around in the office. You're not coming into power, you're giving us excuse. It means that you're not competent. You don't have what it takes to bring change. So we expected that the APC government, when they came in, they would have brought the change. Nigerians will be happy. Everybody was waiting for change. We want things to change for good and all that. But things are getting worse.
Right.
So you see the people came out with the passion of enough is enough. It's no longer the election you see where you bribe people or you pay people to get money to vote for you. People were not interested in money. They want change. So what you saw in Lagos was the reaction of the people. it means that Nigerians are tired. What you saw in Osun was the reaction of the people that no, enough is enough.
Right. But my question would be that, I mean, if you say enough is enough and people saw that, a lot of people would point at the obedient movement, the Labour Party members, and say that is where the movement, this call for change is coming from, and not necessarily the PDP. What's your thoughts on that?
No. I disagree on that. That's just the only Labour Party that is calling for change. Even the PDP is calling for change too. PDP is yearning for change because we are all Nigerians. We are all going through the same things that you're going through, the Labour Party is going through, the same thing PDP is going through. So we all desire a change in Nigeria. And that is why PDP said, we have what it takes to recover Nigeria. So it's not a one-sided thing or the movement it's a movement from PDP, Labour, even ADC had a movement too.
Exactly. And there was an alliance between the PDP and the Labour during the coalition, the national coalition, where we saw that joint press release, and after that your running mates, that Dr. Fanyo Koa, with the running mate of the Labour Party, also organized a joint press release condemning the outcome of the election and the whole process and the conduct of it. My question is, we have seen after the aftermath of it that Labour is insisting they won the elections, just as the PDP is insisting they won the elections. From anybody watching right now, you would wonder who exactly would indeed won these elections. You, before coming out, must have asked your party agents and maybe already have done collation of what you think is the exact amount to come out and say, you know what, I think we won. And the same thing as Labour. As flawed as everybody believes these elections would be, who should we believe? I mean,
PDP.
Why?
Because we won.
Why should we believe
We have
you?
our facts, and thank God we're in the court right now. We've gone to the court.
Yes, just as the Labour Party has gone to the court as well.
Yes, they are, but I think the courts will decide. By the time we present our fact, and if Labour has their own fact too, they present their fact, and Nigerians will get to know who actually won the election. But I can tell you that PDP won the election.
And Nigerians should just take your word for that and say, okay, why should we agree with the PDP in the first place and say, okay, PDP won just because Atiku said so?
Not because Atiku said so, because we have the fact and the result to show that we won. We're not just telling Nigerians that we won. We have the fact and we have the numbers to show that this result is in favor of PDP, Atiku Abubakar. So, and I'm happy that Labour is in court. We are all going to court. And like Shomolo said, he said, if Labour said they won the election, and PDP said they won the election, one of them must be telling lies. But I'm very sure PDP is telling the truth.
Well, the Labour Party is just as sure that they are also telling the truth. Okay, let's move ahead to now talk about the fact that this election cost Nigeria over 3.5 billion naira. And I'm wondering, when I saw that protest, the black uniform protest, and my question was, where are we going to have another 3.5 billion naira to conduct another elections? Is the PDP promising to bring that amount just to alleviate the sufferings of Nigeria? You can already tell that the country needs money as it is, not to mention our debt profile. But let's just focus on the elections. Where should Nigeria get over 3.5 billion naira to conduct a rerun?
Can I ask you a question?
By all means.
Is any amount too much to buy the truth?
To buy the truth?
Yeah.
If it's going to cost taxpayers more than it already has costs, maybe some people would say we can't afford it any longer.
But we need the truth so that Nigeria will move forward.
Right.
So I don't think anything is too much to get Nigeria on the right track.
Do you think Nigeria has that money to expend on another election?
We do. And if we are ready to make things work out, Nigerians will be ready. We have what it takes. That's just the truth.
Okay.
We have what it takes. Because, see, the truth is this. The truth you run away from today has a repercussion tomorrow.
Okay. Because I remember in 2019, your principal, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, also insisted that he won that elections as well. And I remember gathering his legal team to go to court, to contest that in court and get a verdict. But that we didn't see that happen. So what would change with this one this time?
Yes, because this time around, we have enough factor. We believe in the judiciary that the judiciary is doing the right thing this time around. They will redeem their image this time around. And we believe so much in the judiciary of Nigeria that things will be set right this time around. The desires of Nigerians will be met. They will listen to Nigerians and they will act into the voice of Nigeria. And we are so confident in judiciary. The truth is that we can't get our mandate back by fighting on the street. And PDP is not ready to fight on the street. We are a peaceful party. Our candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, is a peaceful man. That is why you see at every point in time, anything goes wrong, he knows the right channel to go to. He goes to the court because he believes in the Nigerian judiciary. And we are going back to the court.
For somebody watching you now and saying this new belief in the Nigerian judiciary. By the way, I watched his press release after the declaration of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu as president, where he said, well, he also knows that the judiciary can be compromised, you know, and you're saying that now you're believing in the judiciary. Nigerians watching you right now might be thinking, what are you doing beneath or behind the scenes to ensure this judiciary gives you the mandate that you think you have?
Because
is there something else going on, or this belief is just innate all of a
because
sudden?
that's the last hope of the common man.
Right.
And we believe, I still insist on that word, we believe in the judiciary this time around, that they will do the right thing.
Now, speaking about the judiciary, INEC is planning another election, the gubernatorial and state national assembly in 28 states in Nigeria. And my question is, they have asked the court to allow them reconfigure the beavers. What would you suggest? Because it's only right that they use the beavers for the gubernatorial. I mean, if you're screaming so much just because the INEC results viewing portal was not used at a certain time, if you're screaming so much about that, I'm sure you are just as angry if the gubernatorial does not, if we do not use the bimodal voter accreditation system for the gubernatorial, but it has to be reconfigured so that it can be used. And you are now asking the court to determine who indeed won. There's a little rift there. What would be your suggestion?
I believe I think in technology today is not something difficult where we can have issues thinking of.
Right.
It cannot be used. There should be something like, there should have a central data where those things can be uploaded.
Would you trust that data? We've also heard people say that it can also be manipulated. Would you trust the data if INEC comes out to say that, yes, this is the data we got from beavers right now, this is what you should follow? Would you trust it?
Yes, I will, because if they allow the parties to go through those beavers and configure those beavers in front of our agents or so-called technical teams that we have allowed by the court to go ahead and inspecting those items, and those things are done in front of them. Okay? We are pulling this chunk of result capture. This is what we are pulling out. This is what we are setting aside. This is what it was before it was configured. Then fine. But if INEC is not going back on their own to do that, this is what we want to, without allowing them go through as the court has given them the order to do that, then we question it.
We're talking over 170 polling units in the 70,000 polling units across Nigeria. Do we have the time? Because INEC also has to prepare. You must give them that benefit. If it has been uploaded,
it's just a matter of transfer.
92% as at this morning had been uploaded. 92% of what was in the IREV.
You see, at this junction, you see, most times the way or manner we handle things in our country, most times it's questionable, and it gives room for suspicions and all that. And you see the confidence of the youth about our leaders or institutions in Nigeria calls for a lot of maybe distrust. Because I expect if by now, today's our 7th, if I'm not mistaken, if by now we're still uploading 92% of the same results, it's questionable.
It should have been upscaled better?
Yes. Before now, we know we have an election coming up on the 11th.
Right.
And we're going to use those beavers again. What kept us till now that we're still on 92%? Why is INEC?
You don't believe there could be glitches and unprecedented hurdles that INEC could technologically face, because they admitted that, oh yes, we had planned to.
Did they actually tell Nigerians what the technical problem is?
Yes, according to INEC, during a press conference, it was because they were upscaling to a larger server, and so we had that glitches. It no longer worked. But you had just mentioned.
My dear, let me just come in.
Right.
There's a word that said preparation is the mother of manifestation.
Right.
We know we are going for election. We need these things to work before election.
That's true.
And they need to be configured, whatever they needs to be done, whatever that needs to be done on these beavers here before the election.
Right.
What kept them till date? Why? Why did you have those hitches?
Unprecedented, according to INEC. I'm not speaking for INEC right now, but that is
what INEC told us.
Is that
so unfortunate?
But what would you say? I'm sure you were very active during the elections, and if you have to mention something you saw around that election that appalled you, for instance, what would you say took you aback most, having seen how it was conducted, especially because of the assurances we got from INEC?
You see, it's each time I remember that day, and some of the videos I've seen, I weep for Nigeria. When are we going to get it right? Where you have a polling unit where people stand up and say, if you don't vote for a particular party, go out.
There were also videos of intimidations by the PDP. I mean, those
I've
videos,
actually not called a party yet. I just said.
I know where you're going. I also saw what you mean.
I didn't see that, probably.
Because it wasn't.
After the section you will show me that, but I didn't see that on PDP.
I will show you. Yes, nobody really had the monopoly. There were several aspects of the election that some of us as journalists saw, and we were really appalled. And I wanted you to just speak not with sentiment, just holistically, having seen that, because I want to go to how we can be better during the gubernatorial polls. So if you would just tell us what you saw that really appalled you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be partisan or whatever.
Actually were.
No,
I know the video you're referring to. Nigerians
not just one video.
Right.
There's this particular video I saw on online where this lady, this actress, what's her name? Chioma, what's her name?
Chioma Chukwuka.
Or something like Chioma Chukwuka. Where she was shouting, a lady like me, my mate is slapping me on election day. These APC guys are here, whatever. I don't think I've come across any video that has to do with PDP intimidating.
The Labour Party? You haven't?
I didn't see of Labour Party.
No, I'm
so
talking
I won't
about
sit here because
PDP now.
Yeah.
But let's move away from that and talk about how it could have been better. And moving on to the gubernatorial polls, what should INEC put in place better, if I have to ask you?
INEC knows what to do, and let them do what they need to do.
And what is that?
Because
I have also headquarters who say this is the most free, fair, credible elections with integrity Nigeria has ever had.
My dear, we are just entertaining ourselves for that word here.
Right. I've also heard people from another divide say that. So if
you have to
suggest,
if you heard that word, they said free and fair, that this election was not a free and fair election. It's from those who benefited from it.
Of course, very naturally.
But if you check, 80-85% of those who actually worked and saw this election will tell you, even the foreign bodies will tell you it was not free and fair.
It was not free and fair.
Yeah.
When you say free, what would you say? I mean,
because
in your words,
a lot of Nigerians were stopped from exercising their right. You get to some polling unit, ballot box burnt, people were harassed, beaten. So do we call that one free and fair? No. I should be able to walk to my unit, irrespective of whosoever I want to vote for. Cast my vote peacefully and leave. No one should intimidate me or harass me. Necessarily, I have to vote a particular party or not. And my vote should count.
Right.
And that is what it should be. Then INEC shouldn't be one-sided. When people came into the coalition room with fact that these things are wrong, but you insisted that it has to be the way you want it. It has to go the way you want it.
So in an election where we are seeing PDP come with what they claim to be fact, a Labour Party coming with what they claim to be fact, and insisting that they both won the elections, what would you expect INEC to do? I mean, if you can just make suggestions.
If I expect the next thing is to approach the court.
Okay.
Where there are
But
two people.
your party went to the streets instead.
Yes, yeah, yeah. We went to the street only to express our grievances about the outcome of the result.
I mean, we had seen.
There's nothing wrong in us them doing a peaceful
It is
protest.
within your human right, of
Yes,
course, to protest.
and that's what we did. We felt we were cheated. We came out to express ourselves.
Despite all the press conferences, press briefings you had, most recently by your leadership, your flag bearer rather, we also saw that. So Nigerians already knew that you were aggrieved. I'm saying this because, you know, when we talk about protests,
Are we not entitled to the protest?
you are very much entitled to it. But my fear is, you know, when you talk about protest, I read in the papers today where an elder statesman within the party, your party, the People's Democratic Party, said the PDP would protest until the right thing is done. And we know how left or south the protests can go. And some of us are worried and concerned that I hope this is a one-off thing.
Nigerians should be rest assured that
right.
each time PDP comes out, we are not coming to cause any chaos. We are not coming out to cause any trouble. We are only coming out to exercise our right as citizens of this country.
Do you think it would further your cause in the courts, in the judiciary system?
Yes, because we are speaking out and we are telling the world what went wrong. We need intervention of the foreign bodies. All hands must be on deck to correct this error.
Okay. Well, the reconfiguration of the beavers is definitely going to affect it, and I don't think you quite responded to what you would expect INEC to do at this point. Would you say that just as you're asking for a rerun, there should be a postponement of the gubernatorial polls, as we've heard in some quarters?
Yes, you see, the issue of the beavers configuration of whatever it is, I think, like I said, technologies today are no longer the things we used to think difficult or whatever. It's with a flash, you could get something from a system that you can keep for 10 years or 15 years.
Right.
If that will be done, call the necessary bodies, stakeholders that are involved in this. This has to be transferred out. This is what we have on the beavers. This is what it's reflecting. This is what PDP has. This is what Labour has. Definitely, we have those results. We have agents who can confirm them. We are uploading these things.
But we should take the word from your agents.
Yes, yes.
Just your agents,
yes.
Not the Labour Party agents, not the NNPP agents, not the SDP.
No. Everybody has to be carried along.
Right. All
both
18
PDP,
political parties.
both Labour, both AD, SDP, and everybody,
these are agents that all have irregularities in their results because they are laying claim to
yes,
winning.
But at least let's have a common understanding that everybody is a witness to what's on ground.
Right.
Party A would not say, I was not there, I don't want to believe what you said. Right. Party B will not tell Party C, no, I don't believe. We are all there, face to face, we see what's on ground. By the time to be moved, we all have results, agree that this is what was moved from this particular location down to this place.
Okay. For political parties who have started congratulating the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what would be your statement to that?
The world is free.
The world is free,
yeah,
right.
They can congratulate him. Wish him well. It's from them. I don't have a problem with that. Wishing that, congratulating Tinubu for his, I don't have a problem there. I don't think we PDP have a problem. It's a personal thing.
Okay, I'm asking because if it seems like it's only you or you and the Labour Party that are contesting this out of the remaining, that's 15 political parties, it means there must be something wrong. And we should see more political parties condemn the elections, but we're seeing more congratulatory messages. So does it speak to what to expect in the outcome of the litigations you are already...
It does not. It does not stop anything for me. It's okay.
Right.
It's fine by them. They want to congratulate him. They know reasons why they are doing that. We still stand on our ground that no, the election is not free and fair.
So knowing what you know right now, knowing what you know and all that went down, I mean, you said there were intimidations. You said it was not uploaded to the IREV, that the INEC result viewing portal. What would you change if knowing what you know now? What would be different in the way maybe you conducted yourself as a political party if you had to go back in time in retrospect?
Yeah, I think this time around, if there's an opportunity, probably rerun or whatever, we'll monitor everything. This time around, differently. Not probably, because we will ensure that the right thing is done. Like I said earlier, we have 48 hours to the election. We have 24 hours election.
We had a year.
Let's
start from there.
We had 3 months. I think the last time we had election was the last election was in Osun State or Ondo.
I think it was Osun State.
Osun State. It's about 3 months today, but it's no more than 3 months now. What have we been doing before then?
There was even actually a mock election by INEC. Really.
And Nigerians were told that everything is in place.
Of course.
We were given that confidence that things are going to work very well, smoothly. There won't be any itches on election day. And we know Nigerians are counting on INEC based on the assurance and the confidence given to Nigerians that the BVAS machines are going to work. That it will surely work. And we've seen it work in other states.
Right.
So we had that confidence. Mahmoud told Nigerians that they are going to put this to work, and Nigerians should be rest assured that this time election is going to be free and fair, and it will be open to everybody. For me, what stops them at that money telling Nigerians we have itches? There was a problem with the beavers.
With the beavers?
Yes.
There was no problem with the beavers. The only problem seemed to have been from transmission. Transmission from where to where?
To upload, from the beavers to upload, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
So that means there's a problem. If it
the beavers did part of the job of accreditation, so
yeah.
You might
so
not.
That means that, okay, I agree with you. It has, maybe there's a little malfunction and all that in the area of sending the results. But Nigerians were not told, not until on the collation day, we're expecting to see those results. And nobody's saying anything, no apologies to Nigerians. And you are telling us that we should just go ahead with the election. And at the collation center, the agents insisted, no. Tell Nigerians, why are you not uploading this result?
Okay.
The INEC chairman kept saying, let's go through, we'll get to that point, we'll get to that point. It's not fair on Nigerians.
Exactly. Now with about 93.2 million Nigerians that went out to get their cards, the permanent voters card, 83 actually collected, registered rather, 93.4 million registered, and we saw about 87.2 collecting their cards. Unfortunately, the voters, people that actually turned out to vote, according to what INEC told Nigerians, was just about 24 million. So does it concern you that there's voter apathy already going on? And with this distraught and aggrieved people such as yourself, are you going to see an apathy more in the case of that deficit of trust in INEC? Would you see more people say, you know what, it doesn't seem to be working any longer, so there's no point even coming out?
Yes, because, there's been a lot of mistrust in that area, Nigerians to INEC, believing that things are not going to be done properly. But I think with what has happened, Nigerians are actually angry. Nigerians want to make statement. We want to make a statement, and we want change. And I think if there's going to be a rerun this time around, Nigerians will come out more. More. I can assure you that.
If there is a rerun.
Yes, or if there's an election, like we have the governorship coming up now, and I can assure you that Nigerians will all come out this time around. Because Nigerians are actually tired. It's not that we have not lost confidence in INEC. We have lost confidence in the way and manner, the process which INEC has laid down or carry out this election. We believe, Nigerians believe so much in our country. Have you seen Nigerians outside this country? Have you seen when you meet Nigerians outside? Probably you get to travel out, you pass on the street, you get to hear somebody speak your language. In a foreign land, there's this connection suddenly. We want Nigeria to be a country where we can stay, work, pay our tax, raise our children, make things work for us. We want our country to be at that level.
Of course, that's the Nigeria we
and that's where Nigerians are going today. And that's why you see, I said earlier, there was no celebration. There was no celebration. I don't know where you got your celebration from, out of the...
There were several celebrations, actually. It would not be fair to say there was no celebration.
For me, I didn't see one.
I reported several, really. So maybe there is something you expected. Maybe there was no celebration from your political party, which is expected, especially because
if Atiku had been declared winner of this election, I'm very sure you will know that something has happened in this country.
I also spoke with Labour Party loyalists that think it would have been Labour Party's emergence that will see the kind of celebration we are talking about. But let's go back to the Google polls that are coming up on Saturday. If you have to advise Nigerians who might be despondent at the moment, what would your advice be, as we are running out of time, really?
I will say this, that when you fall, rise up again. Don't give up. Nigerians shouldn't give up. That statement we want to make, let's make that statement. Nigeria is ours. We have nowhere to run to. And it is we that will bring the change that we yearn for.
I must thank you, Justice Abraham, Head of Media and Publicity, Atiku Youth Wing, and the PA to the Director of Support Groups. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. My name is Joy ASONYE. This is where we round up today's segment of the program. Do join us tomorrow as we have much more to give you. Have a blessed evening.